Hi guys. For our second lesson on the French and Indian War, we're going to be looking at the war from the perspective of the four main participants. We are going to look at it from the colonist perspective, the French perspective, the British perspective, and then the perspective of the Ohio Company, which is a organization that you will learn about. So I'm going to bring us first here to the colonist perspective. So we're going to read this, and each of these perspectives is written in the perspective of a person from that position. So as a colonist, you are Jacob Miller and you live in Pennsylvania. Your parents are farmers and moved here from England in 1725. They sold everything they owned to start a new life in the British colonies. Their hard work has led to them owning their own farm, growing their own crops, and raising a variety of animals to put food on the table. One day you hope to make them proud by owning a farm of your own. Affordable land has become rare as British immigrants have flooded the colonies, and your dream to own your own farm is slipping away as the price of land has skyrocketed. Your parents would have loved, close this, sorry. Your parents would love to buy you a plot of land, however, they simply cannot afford it. You catch word of an opportunity to purchase cheap land out west that is being offered by the Ohio Company. This land is located in the Ohio River Valley and is a day's travel from home, but it might be your only opportunity to own your own farm. The land is believed to be dangerous, however. Rumors exist that Native Americans have attacked settlers, and some say that France, along with Britain, lay claim to this region. If you remember from our lesson from yesterday, that the land that was near the Ohio River Valley was owned by the French. Now let's look at the war from a French person's perspective. You are Jean Lecomte, and your ancestors were among the original settlers to New France in the early 17th century. They initially settled around Quebec, but your father moved your family to Detroit in 1719 and began a peaceful and trade-based relationship with the Native Americans who populated the area. When your father passed away, you inherited his trading business. You travel to the Ohio River Valley at least once a month to meet the natives whom you trade. The natives want steel-based European products such as guns, pots and pans, and needles. In exchange, you receive valuable fur from the abundance of animals that live in the valley. These furs are made into clothing and are very valuable. You have become so accustomed to the natives that you even married an Iroquois woman. However, things have changed recently. British colonists are flooding the Ohio River Valley. This has angered the natives since many newcomers have begun clearing forests to plant farms, which has scared animals away. Others see the value in the furs and begin trapping as well. Our next perspective is from the Ohio Company. You are Thomas Lee, and you are one of the founding members of the Ohio Company, a real estate company that wants to divide and sell the land in the Ohio River Valley. You and your business partners, Lawrence and Augustus Washington, know of the rich fur trade in the area and are hoping to capitalize on the land's value. At the same time, you know that there are already 100 families lined up who are ready to move west, so you know you will make a quick profit on these land sales. You also know that France has claimed the area, but you figure if you can get out there first and start moving settlers to the region, the French will back down and rather than start a conflict. However, as you begin selling the land and moving colonists into the region, you notice that the French are not going to back down. One day on an expedition to map out a parcel, you notice several hundred French soldiers and an entire line of new forts built in the valley. These were built to stop British expansion into the region. You report this information to the Virginia governor, Robert Dinwiddie, and await further action. Now, our last perspective is someone who is British. You are George Washington, yes, that George Washington, a 21-year-old major in the Virginia Regiment, which was created by Governor Dinwiddie to protect the Ohio River Valley. You have been asked to hand-deliver a letter to the French, which asks them to leave the area. You and your interpreter navigate the valley and find the man in charge, Jacques de Saint Pierre. He refuses to leave the area and says that since France was there first, the land belongs to them. Before you can even return to inform Dinwiddie, he has already deployed a second team to construct a fort in the valley to intimidate the French. Upon your return, Dinwiddie tells you to report and help his team build the British fort. Before you can reach this area, you learn that the French attacked the team, forced them to retreat, and seized the fort they were constructing. They later renamed it Fort Duquesne. You then quickly build another fort, which you name Fort Necessity. The French attack you as well. Outnumbered, you are forced to surrender. The Ohio Company stands to make a lot of money for Virginia, and your brothers Lawrence and Augustus also have a lot of money tied up in the company. What happened to this land? Did you pick up on the fact that two of the founders of the Ohio Company, Lawrence and Augustus Washington, were the brothers of George Washington? That's very interesting. Okay, I am going to bring you to your assignment for the perspectives of the French and Indian War. You're going to have this document attached to your assignment, but your assignment is going to look like this, and your job is to be answering these questions. The French and Indian War began as a conflict over land. What land was at the center of the conflict? What about this land made it valuable for different groups? If you had to guess, who are the two sides fighting in this war? And then you are going to look at the four perspectives that we read about, and you're going to look at how the group is involved. What might this group be to blame for the conflict? So what did they do wrong? And why might this group consider themselves innocent in this conflict? All right, this is a shorter lesson for today. We did a lot of talking yesterday. All right, I will see you at our ELA lesson.